Everyone my age remembers where they were and what they were doing when they first heard about the contest. I was sitting in my studio watching cartoons when the bulletin broke in on my video feed, announced, announcing that James Holiday had died during the night. I'd heard of Holiday. Of course, everyone had. He was the video game designer responsible for create the Oasis, a massively multiplayer online game that had gradually evolved into the into the globally networked virtual reality. Most of the humanity now use it on a daily basis. The unprecedented success of the Oasis had made Holiday one of the wealthiest people in the world. At first, I couldn't understand why the media was making such a big deal of the billionaire death. After all, the people of planet Earth had other concerns. The ongoing energy crisis, catastrophic climate change with widespread famine, poverty, and the disease. Half a dozen wars, you know, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Normally, the news feed didn't interrupt everyone's interactive sitcoms and soap operas unless something really major had happened, like the outbreak of some new killer virus, or another major city vanishing in a mushroom cloud. Big stuff like that, as famous as he was, Holiday Death should have warranted only a brief segment on the evening news. So the unwashed meshes could shake their heads in envy when the newscasters announced the obscenely large amount of money that would be doled out to the rich man's heirs. But but that was the roof. James Holiday had no heirs. He had died a 67-year-old bachelor with no living relatives and by most accounts without a single friend. He spent the last 15 years of his life in self-imposed isolation, during the which time, if the rumors were to be believed, he'd gone completely insane. So the real jaw-dropping news that January morning, the news that had everyone from Toronto to Tokyo cramping in their cornflakes, cornered the contents um, of Holiday last will and testament and the fate of his vast fortune. Holiday had prepared a short video message along with instructions that it be released to the world media at the time of his death. He also he also arranged to have a copy of the video emailed to every single Oasis user that same morning. I still remember hearing the familiar electronic chime, when it arrived in my inbox. Just a few seconds after I saw that first news bulletin, his video message was actually a meticulously constructed short film titled Anorak's Invitation. A famous eccentric Holiday had harbored a lifelong obsession with the 80s, um, 1980. The decade which he had been a teenager, and Anorak's invitation was crimed with obscure 80s pop culture reference, nearly all of which were lost on me first time I viewed it. Viewed it. The entire video was just over 5 minutes in length, and in the days and weekends that followed, it will become the most scrutinous piece of film in history, sub- surpassing even the Zapruder film in the amount of painstaking frame by frame analysis devoted to it. My entire generation will come to know every second of holiday matches by heart. Anora's invitations begins with the sound of trumpets, the opening of an old song called Dead Man's Party. The song plays over a dark screen for the first few seconds until the trumpets are joined by a guitar. And that's when Holiday appears, but he's not a 67-year-old man. Ra- Rabba, ravaged by time and littleness, he looks just as he did on the cover of Time magazine Black in 2014. A tall, thin, healthy man in his early 40s, with unkempt hair and his trademark born remained eyeglasses. He's also wearing the same clothing the more in time cover photo, faded jeans and a vintage Space Invaders t-shirt. Holiday is at a night school dance being held in a large gymnasium.